Welcome everybody to the World Tour of Galactic Science 2 for the date of the 10th of October 2017. Alright, what have I got up to since last World Tour? Actually not remembering exactly what we actually got to. I suppose probably a good idea to have a look downstairs. Now as you can see, the looking around the world here, it's very framey. Currently only getting about 18 to 20 odd frames a second, and that's not good. Now, it may have something to do. I've got all these nice, lovely machines that are doing all these AE2 things with animations like Mindcam doing this little spinny things. I've got a lot of those sort of animations happening. That may be the problem, or it may be the fact that I've got too many machines within one chunk, even like going like top to bottom, which leads me to, well, we'll walk over that little problem afterwards. Right, so what have we got here? That was just making steel. That's right, what the... Alright, something has obviously gone wrong there. Yeah, insert only? Extract only. Yeah, I'm going to have to clear that fluid out now. Damn it. Let's just check in here. Oh, that's a crucible furnace, so that should be fine. Extract only. I should have actually... went around to all of these. That's import only. No, I want to extract. Yeah, there we go. So all this little system that we got set up here, all to make dark steel. I wanted to try and explore the avenues, the ideas of potentially expanding on the Ender IO power gen rather than just the Stirlings. Now, I know for a fact that Kathleen hadn't really done much with Ender IO past the Stirling, so I thought I might, see if it's... I suppose it is viable. You've got to Mars. You can actually make a lot of the Ender IO power gen. Now, how viable is the Ender IO power gen? I went and had a look at the Ender IO configs and realized that a lot of the combustion generators, these things here, now they were basically running power double to, or RF per tick generation. It was double the power generation of, say, the top tier of Stirling generators, so that's what I'd done. Now, with the rocket fuel, currently the rocket fuel itself is each cycle of the rocket fuel is generating 40,000 RF per tick. Now, I don't think this thing will only at a maximum hold 100,000 RF per tick, and the actual power transfer out of the machine is what's throttling the power gain at the moment. But maybe with a little bit of tweaking, this still can work and be better than having a whole bank of totally inefficient Stirling generators chewing through your hydrocarbon and your hydrogen. Now, currently, I've ripped out all of the Stirling generators that were powering my system. I think there was in total there was about 13 or so, with 4 combustion generators at 40,000 RF per tick. Even though it's not transmitting 40, it's basically the threshold is the actual power being able to be drawn out of the machine into the power grid. So I've separated the power grid itself. So we've got a definite input of power and an output of power. So with these 4 combustion generators, we are still slowly getting a power increase. It looks to be about 100,000 RF per something. it seems quick enough to support my power needs right now. Not to say that all the lasers later on, that's going to be a problem, but it's quite interesting. And in fact, I might even go so far as to... I have an idea that I might actually move the energy pylon over here and hook up my Laser Plus lasers, the higher tier ones, the tier 4, straight to my Powerball. That might be something to do, something to look into. Since we've actually got a bit of an extra range of actual power transmission with the energy pylons, so might look into that. Yeah, as to why I'm getting so bad frame rates when I hit certain chunks within my world, I'm not entirely sure what I can do about it. Whether if someone would come up with some, say, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a texture problem or whether it's just I'm asking too much computations in a particular chunk, which therefore means I'm going to have to move machines, which may indeed need to happen. Maybe I might just have to remove the upper floor that I've got working and move all the machinery downstairs and spread the whole factory out. That may be something I need to do. Other things that we did cover over the week was nutting out the process of making electrical steel with the Tinkerer's Construct casting table. It's able to be done, and it is also able to be done to make solarium with the same tables. Now, the trick with making solarium is we're using level emitters to basically govern how much solarium we have in the system. So if I actually add 26 there, we're now filling the casting table with gold with the export bus. Now, the trick to this is you have to have the soul sand in the casting table way before you even get gold anywhere near it. So with this export bus, we've got 4 acceleration cards to make sure that this fluid card here doesn't fill the casting table with gold before the soul sand is there. And that works. Alright, I've also automated some witch water making here. It would be kind of nice to see if we actually had some farms or whatnot that we could actually harvest the mushrooms that we are basically instigating with the witch water. It would be nice. But yeah, I may have to look at tweaking this sort of setup. Now, the actual economy of the production of rocket fuel to basically power out, I'm not really sure. I might have to ask some people like Kathleen to run numbers. But I think maybe 40,000 RF per tick, even though it is double what a top tier Stirling generator will do, you just can't pull the power out fast enough for it to be competitive. Yes, it's an economy saving by running VATs. I'm currently using rotten flesh from the mob spawner upstairs with sugar. Sugar I'm actually synthesizing from the chemicals we're getting in the farm to make... actually, that's the nutrient dissolution. We're not even using that right now. What I am using is the poisonous potatoes from my farms. I have a use for poisonous potatoes, and that's providing the hooch. And the hooch is then being added with gunpowder and redstone. Gunpowder you're getting from sifting. Redstone we've got synthesized to make rocket fuel. and that rocket fuel is just then going to supplying the combustion generators. I'm halfway into setting up another vat to explore firewater. Now, firewater itself is, let me see, a little bit more expensive, or if you will, possibly even a little bit cheaper, because blaze powders, we're getting blaze rods out of nothing from monster spawns. So I'm not entirely sure whether to maybe look at firewater as maybe a cheaper fire like fuel source, liquid wise. So maybe I should drop the actual power that we're gaining out of the combustion heaters, because I actually set that to also being, I think, firewater with the Ender IO settings was more power output than the rocket fuel itself. So I followed that energy line down and set the firewater configurations to something like 160,000 RF per tick. Now, that doesn't really mean a lick of difference if we can't get that power out of the combustion generators faster than we're making it. That's pretty much the main thing. So I may dial back those numbers just to try and get a decent economy happening. But economically, with products going in versus power coming out, this is actually a cheaper option, while trying to strive to get the advanced generators. Now, I have yet to be able to activate potato mode. I would prefer to be running potato mode, because they actually get even just the controllers for the advanced generators. Say if I wanted the gas, that's Cinegas production, the solid. No, I want the gas one. Where are you? Gas turbine controller. This is what you really will be wanting to get. 32 Enderium rotors. Okay, yep, could possibly get that. Draconium ingot. We actually would get one of those from a quest reward. The machine hull. This recipe, I feel, is excessive. And it is, quite honestly, very discouraging to continue on using that sort of power generation. It's not a difficulty curve. No. It's a difficulty cliff that you have to try and scale to get that, to move up to the next tier of power. I don't necessarily agree with it. And I must be missing a point where there's no mid-tier power. That's my one criticism that I've got. There is absolutely no mid-tier power options, rather than low tier with Sterling, nothing mid, and then smack your head against the advanced generators. There's no... I like linear progression. Yes, get harder and harder and harder. Don't go, yeah, not so bad. Oh, really fucking extreme. And this pack seems to go that way. But that's my personal opinion. So, exploring that is quite interesting. Resource-wise, we're not doing too badly. But, yeah. Everything seems to be ticking along quite nicely, except, of course, like when I'm standing about here, and I'm getting about 14 frames a second as I'm, turning around. In the end, this is probably going to be the one thing that stops me playing the pack. And that is the the capabilities of 1.7.10 as a Minecraft architecture to sustain this sort of automation / calculation. This is pretty much where I'm at. So, where to from here is the main thing. I'm pretty much waiting for potato mode to get fixed. I do have the actual mode in here. It's saying type this command. I've tried typing this command. Doesn't work. So I'm not getting any mode changes. But yeah, I probably will look at fiddling around with a bit more numbers with this. I may even go so far as to maybe even drop the power generation down to the top tier of Stirling generator. By the time you get to Mars, you can make octatic capacitors if you really like, but really, for the amount of solid fuel going in, I think maybe you could probably go with the Ender IO machines after that. If you want to progress down and solve the challenges to get to the combustion chamber, that is the reward of being able to make more power units that you wouldn't have to have so much fuel to get the same sort of power gain. That's my take on it anyway. In the end, it's Kathleen's pack. Kathleen will do with the pack as he so chooses, and whether I agree to or not is also my choice. Whether I continue or not is also my choice. Now, as of this particular date, there won't be very many live streams going on during the week because it is my darling wife's birthday, so I'm organising a few dinners and what have you to celebrate such. So the next live stream, if you're watching this, will be Friday and Sunday, so we'll be missing out a couple days. But this is the way it is, and yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed the world tour, me rambling on for about 15 to 20 minutes about how things are going for me within the world, and we'll just have to move on from there. If anybody who's watching knows how to retexture these things, these chemical disposers, so it doesn't have a spinning animation, let me know, because I think that would definitely help with the pack itself. Or whether I can just go into the options, maybe go video settings and just go minimal particles maybe. It does seem to help a little, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. So I think that's half of the problem that I'm getting graphics wise. But yeah, it is definitely getting to be problematic. Whether I just hold off and wait for potato mode to come out and restart, maybe. I don't know. The future for Galactic Science 2 for me is very uncertain. Alright folks, well, if you've liked the video and liked the series or the world tour so far, do go ahead and click that like button. And of course, if you're interested in keeping up with everything that I do subscribe. If you want to catch up with the live streams or even check out the VODs, go over to the twitch.tv/Raetac link and check out the past broadcasts there. Alright folks, well, I've been Raetac. I'll see you next time.